Hey, so welcome back, man. We here again with my boy Elijah, man. My boy been supporting the channel a lot from day one. I told you I was gonna do a jersey giveaway. I announced the winner, and I think it was episode 6. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, the jersey here. Had a chance to get my boy out here to Raleigh, North Carolina. And I mean, I appreciate you showing love, commenting on the videos, liking the videos, sharing the page on Facebook.
Number one RiSSky fan right here.
Bro, RiSSky Powerhouse, man. Here you go, bro. My man's a diehard Brooklyn fan. You see the hat. My man want to see these guys win a championship. Kyrie is back.
So like I just got drafted, y'all. Yeah. Shake the commissioner's hand. Thank you, bro.
So yeah, man. It's the RiSSky Powerhouse. Look forward to more giveaways in 2022. My man's got the Kyrie jersey. We going to the moon. So glad we got an opportunity to get my man's in the room, in the building. Welcome to another episode of the Powerhouse.
We here.
The RiSSky Powerhouse. My man ELI, jersey raffle winner, diehard Brooklyn fan. Yeah, man. So let's just dive right into it ASAP, bro.
What's good?
Your boy Kyrie is back.
Mm-hmm.
He's back, bro. Elaborate on that a little bit. What you feeling about your boy?
Man, long time overdue. Honestly speaking, the Brooklyn Nets ain't winning the championship without Kyrie Irving. It's just not going to happen. Once they face either Milwaukee or Miami, and even Philly, as you've seen the other day, they don't have enough to get over that hump. Kyrie adds a whole nother dynamic. He allows James Harden to play comfortably. He allows Kevin Durant to play comfortably. He just takes a whole load off of these guys. So if you ask me, Kyrie Irving adds that championship caliber. We've already seen what he did in Cleveland. Shaky in Boston. You know, I know how you feel about his Boston years. A little shaky in Boston.
Could have been more.
But if you ask me, like I said, he's going for chip number 2 this year. Let's go.
Kyrie back. Hey, my man's talking crazy. Hey, you heard my man.
You know?
Hey, but yeah, man, even if I still respect what Kevin Durant doing, nonetheless, we know I'm a LeBron guy. Go check out that LeBron episode if y'all haven't. Drop comments, leave likes. But yeah, man, I'm a LeBron guy, so obviously, you know, it's always been a 1-2 there. Kevin Durant obviously gauged the highest opportunity of taking that number 1 spot in the earlier years up until Giannis's arrival, I guess you could call it, in the last 4 or 5 seasons. But you know, Kevin Durant definitely showed up coming off of that Achilles like nobody ever thought he could. I think you can make a case he's better.
I've never seen anything like that before. Most people with Achilles injuries, that's it. No elevation, no lateral movement, they're done.
Bro, he's the same, if not better.
Fish it, that time off.
Bro, I don't understand.
You seen the Olympics, what he did. He carried the Olympic team, basically.
Yeah, man. I had a conversation in the episode with James Jones about how certain people, they just have physical attributes and traits that just can't be duplicated no matter how much you practice, no matter how much yoga you do, no matter how much stretching you do, no matter how young you start. You just would never be able to get to a physical profile that certain people and players that we respect so much can get to, and Kevin Durant definitely one of those guys.
The 7-footer who lists himself at 6'9". I'm not sure I'm feeling that, but the man is 7 feet tall, man. With a jumper, with a handle, and all that. His only weakness is his frame.
Yeah, I think guys like PJ Tucker get up under him, foul him every play in the playoffs, and the refs just don't call it. So you know, when you can get up under him, Kevin Durant had games like Game 3 and 4 of last year's playoffs. 9 for 25 field goals, 11 for 29 field goals. You know what I mean? We expect Kevin Durant to be 50% because that's what he do. So holding Kevin Durant to 35%, that's an accomplishment for a guy like PJ Tucker who earned his championship last year.
But the cool thing about Brooklyn is you can't hold everybody. Are you you can't hold everybody. Let me ask, are you willing to start saying James Harden is back?
Bro, James Harden is definitely getting the rhythm. But I will say this. He's playing to the expectation that I've been holding him to all season. Now, if James Harden going to come out here and average 19 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, and we just going to sit back and he averaged 39% field goals, that's what he was doing for the first 15 games. 5 turnovers. So I think my feelings were warranted. It wasn't just me coming down on a player who was playing great that I'm just hating on. I think he was playing terribly, and I was saying, hey, James Harden, you can't be playing just as bad as Russell Westbrook when you clearly are a better player than Russell Westbrook.
So, but what do you think changed in these last few games? What do you think is the difference? How is he dropping?
I think the difference is aggressiveness and attitude. The guy James Harden came into the season, obviously we couldn't gauge the seriousness of how the referees were going to be. We couldn't really gauge, you know, the differences in rules and all of that. True. So James now he putting his head down and he figuring out his way of being in his element back on the floor in terms of being James Harden rather than just trying to be a good team player, trying to, worry about the refs, worrying about this, that, early in the season trying to figure out new teammates, get other guys involved. Now he's in that part of the year where younger players start to, hit that stride of, it's harder to get up. You know what I mean? The legs get heavy. So now James, he in that point where he's comfortable. He understands this time of the year, and he's hitting that gear. If you remember that 30-point season he had where he was having 25, 30 consecutive 30-point games.
That season?
36. That 30-point, that season where he had all those 30-point games, it came in the middle of the year. It came in the end of December throughout the course of January.
Right.
And that's James Harden's time to, wake up. And, at his standard, he shouldn't ever have a 20-game stretch of those numbers I listed earlier.
Yep.
So I'm proud to see that he can have 33, 14 rebounds, 10 assists. Although he still had 6 turnovers, he shot 9 for 20 from the field, which is 45%. Yep. Higher than the field goal percentage he's been sustaining all season. So that let me know he's getting in the stride. 18 free throw attempts is a sign of aggressiveness, a sign of confidence, and a sign that James Harden is figuring out his stride. Like, losing to Philly is a big loss, and, Big and B, he making his case or whatever. However, it's not the end of the day, and that's what Kevin Durant wanted to let that boy know last night.
Those turnovers got to go down for James Harden. It just has to. I mean, to me personally, he turns over the ball almost as much as a Russell Westbrook.
He turns it over more.
More than, this season?
Russ have more total turnovers because he played every game. Gotcha. But James Harden leads the league in turnovers per game. Yes.
Right. But is there such thing as are all turnovers the same to you?
LeBron said in the game after the loss versus Memphis, he said you have aggressive turnovers and you have careless turnovers. Those careless turnovers start to get up under you, and those are the ones that burn you at the end of the game. So you can't have careless turnovers. So I guess coming from a player that have, high regard, high respect, not my words, that's what LeBron said. So, you got aggressive turnovers and you got careless turnovers. Right. The careless turnovers are the ones that get up under you. And James Harden have a lot of careless turnovers when you watch him. Russell Westbrook have a lot of out of control. Like, what were you thinking, Russell Westbrook? Right. James Harden have a lot of turnovers. Like, do you even care? Like, he'll have a pocket pass that get plucked, and he'll kind of just walk back, and you kind of looking at him like, are you engaged? Do you care?
Yeah, he does some clumsy turnovers.
But Russell Westbrook and James Harden have both always been top 2 in turnovers. Even when you look at the season where James Harden led the league in assists, which is he's one of 4 or 5 players to have a season where he led the league in scoring, have another season where he led the league in assists. So, he's rare, but in that season, he averaged 5.7 turnovers, which was an NBA record most turnovers per game for any single season.
Yeah, and with the 2021 style of basketball, with the tempo that it is and all of these things, I would say that turnovers are going to happen. These two guys, not only do they average the most turnovers back-to-back, they're also the highest usage rate in the NBA. And that goes hand in hand.
And they both have single seasons that are top 5 in usage rate.
In history.
Like, they have the ball more than anybody ever had the ball ever.
And they're going to turn over the ball. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? So when we transition from the boy Kyrie, man.
Not yet. We ain't transitioning from Kyrie yet. I would ask you, how do you think he gets acclimated only playing these road games, man? You think that's going to be a chemistry issue?
Nah, I just think Kevin Durant and Harden understand. They know, they're going to come hard. And with the way that they play, they understand that we're going to let this guy dance. We're going to let him do his thing. We've been balling all year. We got our numbers. We're going to let him go. Because Kyrie is a great scorer, but everything else in every other facet of the game, he's really not elite in terms of Kyrie's not an elite defender. He's not an elite passer. Nope. He's not an elite rebounder. Nope. He's not an elite intangibles player in terms of just the versatility that he brings to the floor. So Kevin can sit back and get his 10 rebounds. He can block shots. Harden going to get 15 assists. Kyrie getting 25 don't really disrupt those other guys being elite. Because even if Kevin get 21 points, he only going to take 10 shots efficiently. Correct. 8 for 10, 8 for 13, numbers like that. Harden going to have the ball so he can get a lot of assists. rebounds, all the things. You know, Kyrie getting 31 points, 2 rebounds, and 5 assists, you know, that's not going to really disrupt Harden getting 18 points, 15 assists. Kevin Durant getting 22 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists.
You know what it will do? Who's your MVP favorite right now?
My MVP favorite right now is Kevin Durant still. When you look at the MVP race, it's been close. According to NBA.com, they released their report for the last 3 weeks, and Giannis have taken over the number 1 spot in the MVP race. I think that's just because of his constant stability. You know, just straight line across dominance every night. Giannis rebounds, 30 points, over 5 assists, nearly 2 steals, 2 blocks, crazy efficiency because he always under the basket. So Giannis has just been that consistent. And Milwaukee is rising in the standings.
Correct.
And with him leading the team in every statistical category, it just points to everything saying he's the most valuable right now.
Do you think adding Kyrie will take away from Durant's numbers, which would probably take an MVP away from him?
Yes, because you got to have the plate. You got to have enough to do to be able to fill that void to be the MVP. Like we were seeing with Steph Curry, although the Warriors are still winning games, his numbers taking a decline. Is like, okay, you're not carrying these wins. So, you know, Wiggins, over the course of the last 3 weeks, averaging 21 points, that might say something about things. Gary Payton averaging double figures over the last few games might say something about that. Jordan Poole been in the health and safety protocol, but before he was averaging 15 plus. So there's a lot of different guys doing different things. Draymond missed a game. Draymond lose that game that he missed.
Yep.
The Warriors lost that game. So
Steph shot pretty horrible that game.
So you know, his case kind of dwindled, and that's what I think opened the door for Giannis. I don't really think it's Kevin Durant not playing, Kevin Durant numbers coming down or anything like that. I just think Curry coming down, because Curry was a favorite for the first 20 games or so.
Right.
And then Kevin Durant was just so consistent. He jumped him when Curry got cold, chasing the record. Now that Kevin was in the health and safety protocols for a few games, Curry numbers coming down, that's what opened the door for Giannis to take that number 1 spot. So I think those guys are a revolving door right now.
Right.
If Jokic get a few more wins, I think we were talking in our fantasy chat about Jokic, if he can somehow, some way make a push into the top 4.
They hovering around 500 right now.
If they make a push into the top 4 in the West, you know, we really have to consider Jokic, being that he's the leader in PER, offensive win shares, total win shares, win shares per 48, value over replacement player, offensive box plus minus, and all types of things. You know, his numbers are great: 26 and a half points, 13 and a half rebounds, nearly 14 rebounds, and the man averaging 7+ assists, shooting crazy efficient. You know, 58% from the field, nearly 40% from 3. Decent from the free throw, 75%. The man Jokic is doing everything for the Denver Nuggets, who out there playing with a bunch of G Leaguers.
Let me ask, are you a fan of the MVP coming from a super team? Is that a problem for you?
I feel like if that player, like let's say Kevin Durant, everybody gets healthy, right? And let's say Kevin Durant start averaging 32, right? He leading the league in PER, leading the league in every advanced analytic that says he's dominating wins more than anybody else. That's when you have to, like, okay.
Got to give it up to him, regardless of who's on his
Regardless, yeah. But if the door is open, so if y'all sharing the load,
correct,
that's when you can be like when LeBron went with Wade said, okay, I'll average 22, 5, and 5.
Correct.
You go ahead and average 27, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, shooting crazy, 56 from the field, 40 from 3, 80 from the free throw, leading the league in PER, leading the league in offensive win shares, elite on defense, first team all defense, leading the league in every advance. So LeBron was kind of like, it was like, ugh. He kind of made it
how
like,
many MVPs did he win on Miami?
2.
2?
And
And voter fatigue is a good reason why it was only 2.
I'm telling you, and even when he got to Cleveland, he was sharing the load, and they wasn't charging up for the regular season, like chasing wins. So his numbers were down 25, 26 points, 7 assists, 6, 7 rebounds.
Hey, RiSSky fans, mark my word. He's saying Kevin Durant now, but Lakers going a little streak. I give it 2 weeks for this man is saying LeBron James.
LeBron for MVP. You know it's coming. You see his numbers.
And not for nothing, he won't be wrong. He won't be wrong for saying that, because right now LeBron is playing the best basketball in the NBA, bro.
Bro, LeBron James think about this. Put this in perspective. LeBron missed 12 out of the first 15 games.
Correct.
LeBron have the most 30-point games in the NBA.
Let that sink in.
He have the most 30-point. He just dropped 43 tonight. 43 points, 14 rebounds, and 4 assists. versus the Portland Trailblazers. The Lakers put up a season high first quarter 43 points and a season high 139 points behind LeBron's 43.
And that's my thing with LeBron. He came out looking to score, not looking to facilitate. If you got involved, that's on you. You did that on your own. But he came out. No one can stop this man when his head down is going to the basket. If you ask me, I think his 3-point percentage is a little bit better than it usually is this year. Or the eye test when I'm watching him, he's wet. Shooting. He's wet. Like he's taking more three pointers than any other time in his career. But that shot is falling.
That come with age too.
It does.
It come with age. But yeah, man, shout out to LeBron, man. Dude is playing out his mind. We're not gonna harp too much on that man, on that man, Brian. You know, I dropped a video about LeBron when he passed the 36,000 point mark. Y'all should go check that video out. But yeah, man, when
40,000, 10 and 10, it's coming.
What do you think about them wings in Chicago? Do they put any fear in you? They got defense. They got perimeter defense. You know, not to say that they can shut down Kyrie, Harden, and Kevin, but they have length. You know, Caruso with Ball, with DeRozan, with Levine, Patrick Williams coming back towards the end of the year. He was supposed to be their defender. They got a lot of guys in Chicago that's buying in. What do you think about those guys? DeRozan hit a big-time game winner that was Kobe-esque today versus the Indiana Pacers.
The number one thing that jumps out with the Chicago Bulls to me is confidence. They're playing like they know they deserve to be where they are. And they're playing like no matter what competition, we're going to come in and do our thing. Lonzo Ball looks locked in. I'm loving his defense this year. Right? I would love to see Pat Williams back. That's my guy. I low-key like Pat Williams. That's my dude. But
it's hard.
Even without him, I know a lot of Bulls fans don't particularly care for him, but me personally, he has a little versatility. But yeah, the Bulls, Levine has the opportunity. What's he scoring this year?
26 points per game.
And DeRozan is up there in the 20s also.
Yeah, both of them averaging 26 points per game. Both of them all-stars, no questions. If both of these guys don't make the all-star team this year, it is robbery.
Right.
Absolutely.
Is it fair to say that Levine, DeRozan, and Vucevic is Chicago's big three? Would you feel?
Yeah, Vucevic is averaging 16 points, 11 rebounds, 3.5 assists, 1.0 steals, and 1.2 blocks.
Right, and over his last few games, his numbers has been up. He's been matching.
DeMar DeRozan averaging nearly 27 points, 5 rebounds is that, 4.5 assists, a steal, and only 2 turnovers. Levine is averaging 26.3 points, 5.1 rebounds, and 4.4 assists. So all of these guys are doing their part. They're bringing their edge to the table. Lonzo Ball, 13, 5 and 5, 2 steals, only 2.5 turnovers as the point guard. That's what you want. A team that don't make a lot of mistakes, and they force a lot of mistakes from other teams. Caruso, top 5 in the league in steals coming off the bench, and you know that 2.0 steals that's big for a guy like Caruso. So shout out to the Chicago Bulls, man. These guys got a big win today. I watched the game and. You know, they made a lot of mistakes down the stretch. I thought they were definitely going to lose that game versus Indiana, and good teams find a way to win games. That's just the bottom line.
Hypothetically speaking, if the Bulls were to face the Milwaukee Bucks in the playoffs this year, how much do you respect the Bulls in that matchup?
I think they'll win 1 game.
All right, proceed.
I'm serious.
1 game? We just threw all of the heap onto the Chicago Bulls. You gave them 1 game?
1 game.
What are they lacking?
And you want me to tell you why?
Yeah, what are they lacking to?
When push come to shove, the Milwaukee Bucks just have a better, higher level unit. Like with Giannis, like who's gonna cancel out Giannis? And even if they do, I think Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday gives the same, might not be the same numbers, but I think they give the same impact as that of a DeRozan and Zach LaVine. Where Zach LaVine and DeRozan are going to give you 26, 5 and 5. Both of them going to get that. Neither one of them really like elite defenders, but they're like lengthy and, you know, they're athletic. So, you know, it's kind of hard to have your way with them. But, you know, when I look at Milwaukee, you have Drew Holiday facilitating.
He's a dog. He's an absolute
he get
dog.
Giannis so many easy buckets. He rebounds. He's big on defense. Elite on defense, and he gonna get you 20 points
quietly,
15 to 20 points. Chris Middleton, lengthy on defense as well, 6'8". You know, he a 50, 40, 90 guy. He gonna get you 22 points. He gonna get you about 5 rebounds, about 5 assists. But you know the way they play as a unit with Giannis those numbers that those guys give under Giannis is more heavy than the numbers that DeRozan and Levine is giving for their team, because their team have less talent and less structure. You get what I'm saying?
I got you.
Like the Milwaukee Bucks, that 22, 5, and 6 from Chris Middleton is heavy, because Giannis giving you 30, 14, and 6 assists, and he's flying on defense. He cover up everything on defense at the rim, and he cover up everything in the paint. So their role players only have to make so many jump shots for them to win a game. Whereas the Bulls, they got to be lights out. When it comes to playoff situations, shooting a bunch of jump shots usually don't work.
Okay. Let me ask you, which one of those teams is more likely to have at least 3 All-Stars?
Well, that's tough because Vucevic missed a lot of games early and he started off slow. Mm-hmm. I definitely think Levine and DeRozan are guaranteed All-Stars.
Guaranteed.
Giannis is going to get the nod, but I'm not sure if Middleton and Holiday is going to get the respect.
If Middleton and Holiday missed the All-Star game, something's wrong. Those dudes are amazing basketball players, bro. You got to slide them in there.
I don't know if Holiday going to get it because, you know, the league, they put you in a place and that's where you kind of are. Holiday got his money, 135. He got his 135 million, got a championship. The league kind of might keep him in that. He 30 plus, so giving him an All-Star is kind of like Mike Conley got an All-Star last year only because of 2 people getting hurt. Like that's unlikely. You know, I think Holiday would be one of those dudes where they like, oh, get him his first All-Star. Oh. You know, Mike Conley kind of got that just for media. Like I don't really think they, you know, if I was him, I would have went definitely, and I would have took that humbly.
Okay,
but being on the outside looking in as Mike Conley, I wouldn't really put too much weight on it because it's like I'm replacing the guy that replaced the guy. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I don't know if Holiday gonna get that nod. It's a shoot.
Would he be a bigger snub than Middleton? If Holiday would be a bigger snub than Middleton? To you?
No, I think if either one of them win, it'll probably be Middleton just because that 20 points, and
the 50-49,
and because he was previously an All-Star. And because that's kind of like his team, like his Giannis and Middleton team type thing.
I just feel like because Holiday's such a laid-back dude, he doesn't have a lot of charisma. He gets overlooked a lot compared to a lot of the other guys. He's not LaMelo. He's not, you know, he does his job and he just goes home.
And that's usually the case, and that's sometimes that hurts you. Whereas you have a guy like Joel Embiid who can have a voluptuous 15 years in Philly of losing, but just keep coming back and being dominant, right? Mm-hmm. But Portland gonna put the fire on Dame Lillard because he don't say nothing. Like Joel Embiid gonna talk and he gonna make his case of who he is, and he not gonna allow you to paint his picture. Whereas Dame not gonna really say much, and everything they say he just gonna let it fly. So what people say kind of start to turn into who you are after 10, 15 years if you don't put that fire out early. So yeah, man, you gotta have that charisma, man. That charisma is a big part of it being in the NBA because that media is boy, that's all I say, man.
Speaking of Dame,
like Joe, good at one example real quick. Jermaine O'Neal. If you knew Jermaine O'Neal's trajectory, he was on a trajectory to be one of the best bigs ever. Like
easily,
he was on an All-Star,
easily,
All NBA, shooting mid range, finishing at the rim, post up, big body on defense, gritty, winning 60 games, finals appearance, all those things. Jermaine O'Neal was on a high trajectory. After that malice in the Palace, though, for some reason his coaches just didn't think he was as good to play as many minutes no more. For some reason, like, he just lost all of his talent, and, you know, running plays through him wasn't a good idea. He became a role player, you know what I mean? So, gotta be careful with that.
What year did Jermaine O'Neal retire? How long?
I think it might have been like 2011.
Okay.
Something like that.
So how long? He was fresh out of high school?
I remember he was in Boston.
Fresh out of high school, right?
Yeah, Jermaine O'Neal was that dude. He started in Portland, then he got his opportunity in Indiana, and a lot of those dudes that got drafted to Portland, Z-Bo.
He was on that elite Portland squad that was lighting them up too.
Yeah, he wasn't playing though. I know that was frustrating. Yeah, he came in the league in He got drafted in '96.
Whoa!
And he finished in 2014.
His best season was when? What year?
Jermaine O'Neal's best year was 2005 in Indiana. He played 44 games, averaging 24 points, 8.8 rebounds, two assists, half steal, and 2 blocks. Or no, I think I'll take this year: 20 and 10, 2 assists, nearly a steal, and 2.6 blocks, think that was a better year.
I had no idea he was that tough on defense.
Yeah.
That's pretty lit. Yeah. That's pretty elite.
He had about a good 5-year run, but yeah, I ain't want to harp too much on Jermaine O'Neal, but I was just saying, like, once that media get a hold of your career, who you are becomes what they say, bro. So you got to put that flame out, Dame.
Speaking of Portland and Dame, 12-22. We got an all-star over there? You giving that man that all-star the way they?
No. Nah. I don't think he gonna get it. You got Ja. These young bucks coming. You got Ja. Mm-hmm. He's gonna be an all-star. Donnie Mitch. He should be an all-star. Chris Paul and Devin Booker. All-stars.
Correct.
Stephen Curry.
You already know.
All-star. That's 5 right there. There's only one more spot.
You said D. Mitch?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's only one more spot. I mean, I don't think Russ gonna get it, but Russ could qualify. He could. You got to think they're still in the playoffs, and his numbers still better than most. Like, even though he's second in the league in turnovers and all that, all of his lowlights get posted. But when you just look at the overall gist, like, he probably could get that last all-star spot. But we just thinking off the top. So
and we know how the media loves to overlook Dame Lillard, because a couple of times early in his career, they just acted like he didn't exist when it came to all-star votes.
Yeah. I mean, he only got 4. He probably should have about 5, maybe 6.
Correct.
But that's how it is. You got to prove yourself for 2 or 3 years before they give it to you. Like, I don't like when they give it to players. Like Luka, he getting to that point now where they ain't giving it to him no more.
That's correct.
Oh, Luka.
He's still hurt.
He been out, yeah.
He's still hurt.
He been out for a long time.
He's still hurt. That was my MVP favorite going into the season, actually.
Dude got MVP caliber ceiling every season.
He can carry a team.
It's the numbers. He versatile. You know, he might not be athletic. He might not dance on everybody, and he might not have the best jump shot, but he do so many things well.
Who would you compare his game the most to?
I think Luka. All right, take LeBron James, right?
Okay.
And put Larry Bird legs on him.
That's him.
And put Larry Bird legs on him, bro.
That's spot on right there. That's exactly what I was thinking.
LeBron not gonna dribble too much. Like, LeBron not trying to like shake you up like a N1 player, but LeBron got a tight handle. His handle is good enough for that size. Luka not trying to do too much. Luka gonna get to a spot, get you on his hip, boom, 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 boom.
So you got to sprinkle a little dash of James Harden in there.
Yeah, he got a little James Harden. That's because of his size. But
and that step back, that's that's Harden right there.
I mean, Luka's, man, he's just a skilled player. He just got a floor game. He don't play a one-on-one game. He have a floor game. Like, he need teammates to play. Like, I think Luka can beat people one-on-one. Don't get me wrong, but I think Luka is elite. He might be a good guy, like one-on-one. You know, he throws some shots. But I think he becomes elite when the teammates get on the floor. And that defense is. He need 5 defenders looking at him in order to be high-level impact. So, shout out to Luka. He's still growing, man.
Don't you think it's amazing how much he commands the respect of other players at such a young age?
Yeah, man. When we go back to Dame, man, these young bucks catching up to him. We might be seeing the league. You know, Dame averaging 24 and 6, 24 and 7 assists. Don't get me wrong. He's still a good player, but elite? I mean, look at Ja, bro. Ja doing what Dame used to do. Ja got drafted to a 10-20 win team.
Yeah.
Memphis. They've been fighting for an 8th seed for the last 2 years. Good. They made the playoffs last year. Now they're a top 4 team. Ja putting 43 on LeBron. Like, I'm just saying, like, these young bucks coming, bruh. Ja, Donovan Mitchell, Devin Booker, these 3 young guards, bruh, gonna put up 25.
So, all right, so with Dame being 32 years old,
right? He might
as a point guard, might be on the downslope.
He coming down.
What's the future for him?
Might get a couple more All-Stars, but I think if he don't relocate, he gonna fade into the sunset.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
As a top 10 point guard of all time?
You ever seen a dog get sick, right? Your mom like, we gotta let him go. Y'all go out to the field, and the dog just start running. You crying, and your mom like, no. She grab you, no, and the dog just running away. That's Dame, bro. Dame, that sick dog, bro. Damn. Portland can't do anything to get better, bro, for a championship ceiling. So he just it's cancer, bro.
Yeah.
We watching the cancer right now overtake when you just don't have nothing left to give.
Yeah, and being that Portland is where it is, and the market
look, he the heartbeat right now. He the last piece of.
That's it.
He on the machine right now. He the last heartbeat. Once Dame can't get 30 no more and just carry wins, I mean,
you got to blow it up.
That's just what it is.
You're going to have to blow it up and build from
It's
within.
going to be too late. You remember when the Knicks tried to trade Pat Ewing? It was too late. You should have traded him 2 years ago. By the time Hakeem went to Toronto, it was too late. Should have left 2 years ago. When you hold these elite players so long, Harden knew. That's why he pulled up with KD. Harden knew. Harden said, okay, you know what? Carrying teams might not be the best. I made my Hall of Fame case in Houston. I'm a Hall of Famer. But now it's time to make my champion case.
And you hurt my heart just now because two of the worst things I've ever seen in the NBA was Patrick Ewing in an Orlando Magic jersey and Hakeem Olajuwon in a Toronto Raptors jersey.
Real talk, bro.
Travesties.
That's what happens at the end.
Travesties, bro.
I hope Dame, man. Dame, when he was on that Olympic team, that was his opportunity to get out and go to another squad and, use that Olympic teammates thing to kind of like fuel his reason to be out. But it's not going to go well if he stays in Portland unless like LeBron, Kevin Durant, Giannis. Do you see any of these players going?
No.
Maybe Zion.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody young like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you don't do that, I don't see that happening if that's not the case. So we'll see what goes on with Dame. I think the league catching up to him. These young bucks, they getting better as the older players slowing down.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not his fault. He's still a good player. He still has opportunity to prove himself too. I'm not saying he's trash, but what I'm saying is sometimes these young bucks, their ceiling is just higher. Like we see what Ja's doing. He can go and chase 40 now. Like
consistently.
Like they
efficiently
got more energy.
too.
They got more exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And Dame, depending on the three, he's shooting nearly 10 threes a game, but he's at a career low 33%. So when that shot not there, you only averaging 24 points. How can you be elite? Like what other things can you do to be elite? Chris Paul don't gotta score 25 to be elite. Chris Paul know how to command the floor. He know how to defend. He know how to rebound. He know the intangibles of how to impact the floor offensively and defensively. So Chris Paul getting 15 points and 10 assists is different. It's just a different 15 and 10 because that's his ceiling. His ceiling is 18 and 12 within the numbers. But it's the other things that you do on the floor that make you better. So, Dame.
Hey, Bron, if you could save him, man. Y'all would look amazing on the court together, man. Get Russ out of here. Find a way to get Dame to LA. And y'all two dogs go after it. That's a championship right there.
With AD just got to be a 20 and 10. Dame can be 25, 3 and 3. And Bron can be 25, 10 and 10. Basically, Bron.
That's it.
Everything in between.
I would love to see that, but...
We know that's a pipe dream. So, yeah, we'll see what go on with Dame, man. Shout out to my boy Eli. Appreciate you pulling up. Got him his Kyrie jersey locked in. My boy, a Brooklyn fan, diehard New Yorker.
Shout out to the basketball savant, the Einstein of this shit.
Appreciate it.
Mr. Basketball Reference himself in the flesh, man. Ask him anything, man. Leave a comment. Ask him anything off the top. He's going to give it to you, man.
No copyright on that Basketball Reference. Hey, look. Hey, shout out to my boy Eli, man. It's the RiSSky Powerhouse. A lot of interesting things going on in the league. If y'all made it this far, leave a like on the video. Drop comments for future video ideas. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Hit that noti bell so you can get notified when I drop content. It's coming to y'all consistent. This is the RiSSky Powerhouse. We out.
Happy New Year.
See me later. Happy New Year.